The Pittsburgh Steelers stormed back into the spotlight with a massive 44-38 win over the Cincinnati Bengals. After a disappointing loss to the Cleveland Browns, this game was about redemption, and the Steelers delivered. This wasn't just a win, it was a statement. Beating two AFC North rivals, the Baltimore Ravens and now the Bengals, puts them in a strong position heading into next week's rematch with the Browns. The stakes higher than ever. This team is showing grit when it matters most. The offense came alive, proving the Steelers can match anyone in a shootout. Russell Wilson put on a masterclass, throwing for an incredible 414 yards and 3 touchdowns. Despite facing the Bengals' defense, the team also leaned on Najee Harris, who powered through with 75 rushing yards and a touchdown, setting the tone early. But this win wasn't just about 1 or 2 stars. It was a collective effort, with players like George Pickens shining, posting 74 receiving yards and a crucial touchdown. The Steelers' ability to adapt and dominate after last week's disappointment sends a clear message to the league. Now it's time to look ahead. Next week's game against the Browns could define the Steelers' season. With this momentum and their offense firing on all cylinders, the Steelers are proving they're still in the fight for the AFC North. This win wasn't just about numbers. It was about heart, discipline, and showing the NFL they're not backing down. But before we talk more into that, hit that like and subscribe button for more NFL content. Let's aim for 350 likes on this video. The Pittsburgh Steelers offense was unstoppable in this matchup, delivering one of their best performances of the season. Russell Wilson silenced doubters with a career-high 414 passing yards and 3 touchdowns, showcasing why he's still a force to be reckoned with. He commanded the field with poise, expertly handling protection schemes to counter Cincinnati's top pass rusher, Trey Hendrickson. This wasn't just a good game for Wilson. It was a statement that he's more than capable of leading this team to success. On the ground, Najee Harris proved his value, punching through the Bengals' defense for 75 rushing yards and a touchdown. But it wasn't just Harris. Cordarrelle Patterson stepped in when needed, adding depth with 16 rushing yards that helped maintain momentum. The Steelers showed versatility in their offense, ensuring that even when Harris needed a breather, the team didn't skip a beat. This adaptability was crucial in keeping the Bengals' defense on their heels. Through the air, George Pickens and Pat Freiermuth stole the show. Pickens delivered 74 yards and a touchdown, showing superstar potential, while Pat added 68 yards and another score. Even Calvin Austin, despite leaving the game early, made an impact with 29 yards and a touchdown. Every player contributed, proving the Steelers' offense is loaded with weapons. If they keep performing like this, it's not just about winning games. It's about becoming one of the most dangerous offenses in the NFL. Discipline on the field became a double-edged sword for the Steelers in this matchup, highlighting an area that could cost them in tighter games. While the offense and defense excelled, penalties threatened to derail their momentum. George Pickens, a key playmaker, let emotions get the better of him, drawing 2 critical penalties, an unsportsmanlike conduct flag for taunting and a 15-yard penalty in the red zone that forced the Steelers to settle for a field goal. These moments showcased Pickens' fiery competitiveness, but they also underscored the need for focus in high-pressure situations. On the defensive side, Joey Porter Jr. struggled with costly mistakes, racking up 5 penalties in this game alone. While his raw talent is undeniable, his reliance on physicality often led to illegal hands to the face and defensive holding calls that gifted the Bengals crucial yardage. These missteps not only extended drives but also put unnecessary pressure on the Steelers' defense to recover. For a player with his potential, developing discipline will be key to avoiding these pitfalls in future matchups. Penalties are part of the game, but they can't overshadow progress. The Steelers showed growth by tightening up their play in the second half with 0 flags on Pickens and improved composure across the board. While mistakes like these can hurt in critical moments, this team is learning to adjust and improve. If they can maintain their discipline and focus, the Steelers will be an even bigger threat moving forward. The Steelers' defense once again proved why they're one of the most dominant units in the league, delivering game-changing plays when it mattered most. TJ Watt led the charge, forcing a critical fumble that set up a scoring opportunity. While he's had a quieter season by his high standards, Watt's presence on the field remains unmatched as he continues to attract double and triple teams. His ability to create chaos, even under heavy pressure, sets the tone for the entire defense. Rookie standout Nick Herbig made his mark with a massive fumble recovery that went for 6 points, showing that the Steelers' depth is just as dangerous as their star players. Cameron Hayward dominated the Bengals' offensive line, consistently pushing Joe Burrow out of his comfort zone and collapsing the pocket. This forced the Bengals into one-dimensional plays, and by the second half, their run game was completely neutralized. In the secondary, Minkah Fitzpatrick held the line, preventing big plays downfield and limiting receivers like Jamar Chase to just 86 yards. While the Bengals found some success early, the Steelers clamped down in the second half, showing their resilience. This defense doesn't just stop opponents, it creates opportunities for the offense. With players like Hayward, Watt, and Herbig stepping up, the Steelers' defense is proving they can win games even against the toughest offenses. The Steelers' special teams quietly played a pivotal role in this victory, showing why they're considered one of the league's most reliable units. In a game filled with high stakes, their ability to execute under pressure stood out. A rare but critical blocked field goal not only shifted momentum, but also showcased the attention to detail that defines this squad. Plays like these can swing entire games, and the Steelers' special teams capitalized on their chance to make an impact. This unit also proved why they're among the best by maintaining consistent field position throughout the game. Their punting and kick coverage limited the Bengals' return opportunities, forcing them to fight for every yard. These small but crucial contributions helped keep the pressure on Joe Burrow and the Bengals' offense, giving the Steelers' defense an edge. The Steelers' strategic adjustments were the backbone of their victory, showcasing their ability to outsmart the Bengals at every turn. On offense, they focused heavily on protecting Russell Wilson, neutralizing the league's sack leader, Trey Hendrickson. By incorporating chip blocks, double teams, and sliding protection schemes, they gave Wilson the time he needed to deliver a standout performance. This shift in strategy turned what could have been a tough matchup into an offensive showcase. Another key adjustment was their shift in passing strategy. Instead of relying on deep shots, Wilson targeted the middle of the field with quick, efficient passes. This approach not only minimized risks, but also maximized yards after catch for players like Pat Freiermuth and George Pickens. Even without Calvin Austin for much of the game, the offense adapted seamlessly, using shorter routes to sustain drives and wear down the Bengals' defense. The coaching staff deserves major credit for this win, especially for designing a game plan that attacked the Bengals' weaknesses. Whether it was switching up the offensive line's assignments or strategically mixing in running backs like Cordarrelle Patterson, every move was calculated and effective. These adjustments show that the Steelers are not only talented but also well prepared to adapt and execute when the pressure is on. The Steelers' future is looking brighter with every game, as they continue to evolve into a complete team capable of competing at the highest level. With Russell Wilson leading the charge, this offense has found its rhythm, and the defense remains a cornerstone of their success. The return of key players like Alex Highsmith, who has been sidelined with an ankle injury, will only bolster their already formidable pass rush. Pairing Highsmith with TJ Watt and Nick Herbig creates a trio that can disrupt any offense in the league. Offensively, the team's adaptability and growing chemistry are promising signs for the challenging weeks ahead. As players like George Pickens and Najee Harris continue to develop consistency, the Steelers are positioning themselves as serious AFC contenders. The coaching staff's willingness to innovate and address weaknesses, particularly along the offensive line, shows a commitment to building a sustainable winning formula. The team is proving they can adapt against elite competition, a skill that will be tested in upcoming matchups against the Philadelphia Eagles and Kansas City Chiefs. The Steelers' win over the Bengals wasn't just about one game. It was a statement about where this team is headed. But the question remains, can they sustain this momentum against tougher opponents like the Eagles and Chiefs? What do you think? Steelers Nation, are the Steelers showing enough to make a deep playoff run? How do you feel about Russell Wilson's performance and the adjustments on offense? Will players like Pickens and Najee Harris step up consistently, or are there still gaps to fill? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Steelers coverage. Stay safe, stay positive, and we'll see you next time. Go Steelers!